Welcome to another Soul Leveling Arise video. Today we are in our series focusing on Zhang Zhenyu, and today we are going to look at the skills, which skills to use, what to remember when using them, and some general advice about the skills. Now, this comes all down to personal preference, but I wanted to give you this quick guide to take a look at. So, if we want to look at Zhang Zhenyu, you're probably wondering, now that I know how to use my stats, given that it ultimately depends on your playstyle, what do I use as weapons or as skills, blessing stones later down the line, or maybe artifacts? So, all of this mainly depends on your playstyle. Like, for example, you may want to switch out your weapon if you fight against a certain boss. For the Lycans, for example, you may want to use both a water and a fire weapon against one of the Lycans respectively. But generally speaking, there are a few options which are better than others. One of these is the Shadow Scythe. This is a combination of both an SSR weapon which you get in the challenge tab. If we look at chapter 9, yeah, in chapter 9 you get the Shadow Scythe, and then in chapter 12 you get it again. So this is an SSR weapon which you can get relatively easy to the first star, which, as you can see, increases our critical hit rate by 25%, which is pretty strong enough of its own. And the damage of the Scythe skill is also pretty good. Now, more important than the weapons, because these are the main thing that depend on your playstyle. If you don't like the Scythe, you probably will be happy with any other weapon. More important are the skills. Now, there are also some things that depends on your playstyle here, but generally speaking, you want both an armor break skill and a major damage skill. There are some cases if you have trouble with a boss fight and the boss has a lot of armor, you may want to use two armor break skills like Death Dance and Armor Break. So, coming to the skills, the first thing you have to remember is, as you unlock more runes for each of the skills, the skills level also goes up, indicated by this orange number here. As you can see, Multi-Strike I have upgraded never, and I have it at level 4 because I have found 3 runes for it. So these basic skills are not as important to level up than your QTE skills and your ultimates. The first thing you want to level up is Shadow Step, because ultimately you want to use this skill as many times as you can, just given that the usage condition is an extreme evasion, and extreme evasions are the best way to not get killed or to avoid taking damage. And the debuff on the enemy is also pretty good. 60% lower defense is a pretty good buff. I would say the basic skills really depend on what you wanna try. So just as you unlock the runes for each skill, just try around a bit which skill you like, and if you have found two, I have seen, as you see, I have used Death Dance quite a bit, but currently I'm using Commander's Touch and Armor Break. If you have found two skills you like using most of the time, then I would suggest leveling them up, just so that they do more damage. When choosing skills, there are two things to mention. So this icon in the upper corner, the arrow with the sword in it, means that it is a counter-attack skill. So the skill works if you're not getting attacked, but if the enemy attacks you while the skill is active, you do more damage. For example, this one does only weak break, but if the enemy hits you while using it, it deals heavy break and stuns on top of it. The other icon is this arrow. This means that you want to hold the skill down in order for it to do more damage or have a greater effect. And we will take a look at that if we just switch to a fight where we have space, for example, where we see the Equus fight. So the only thing you have to remember is, first of all, normal armor break. Just tap it, we get a critical hit increase, and then he dashes forward a bit. Now, if we retry the mission, because of course it is a timed mission.
Looks fun.
And we now hold down our armor break.
Even after
You
leveling
can see
up this
there
much.
was a little bar charging up, and then a way bigger smash. And the same goes for our weapon ability. Scythe weapon ability has also the little arrow. So, if you just hold, he slashes a bit and then a big slash. So, if you just wait a few seconds, we can see the normal armor break again. And now we can see what happens if I hold the button down. So as you can see, when I hold it down, it just takes a second, but it slashes a whole lot more, and the big slash at the end is also way bigger. And not only the visuals are different, it also does a whole lot more damage. Same goes for the armor break. See, it gets to 300% and then it does a whole lot more of damage. So, these are the two things to remember when you look at the skills you want to use. Which skills need to be held down, and which skills are reaction or counter-attack skills. And after that you can just look at the skills you want to use, maybe on which skills you have epic runes or which elements the skills have. It's all dependent on you. One advice I would give is to use either Death Stamps, because it has heavy break, or armor break as your break skills. The runes here are not as important, but I would use the fire one just because the holding down feature is quite strong. And then as damage I would use either Vertical Arcs, Multi-Strike, which does pretty good damage and also deals medium break. Or the Commander's Touch.
Come.
So if you look here, the Commander's Touch is quite a versatile skill. The one I use currently because sadly it's the only rune. For all of the other skills I have multiple runes to choose from. Not this one. I only have the one rune yet. So that is why this is the one I currently use. You can use it 2 times and it is just a big hand or fist slamming down. I would much rather use the finisher touch for an area of effect, or the black hole, which is really good for crippling enemies. So it doesn't do a lot of damage, but you can use it, funnel all of the enemies together in one space and then attack them with your scythe or your weapons ability.
You're no match
And
for me.
for the last one is also quite good. It's sort of a middle ground, I would say. Like, it does do more damage than the others, but
You're
you
no
have
match
to
for me.
load it up a bit before using it. It's not instant, nearly instant, just like the fist. It also knocks down like the fist,
You're no match
but
for
the fist
me.
you can use 2 times, and this one you get mana back, and you also load up your ultimate more if you use it. So I hope you enjoyed this quick guide about Sanction new skills. If you enjoyed it, feel free to leave a like and look by another time, because there will be more videos coming out about solo leveling Arise, and also in my other series where I review games which are currently for free on one of the bigger marketplaces like Epic Games or Steam. I hope you have a good day and enjoy your time.